Octopus, or taco, is a regular dish in Japan. Many Japanese restaurants serve octopus, and anyone who has tried it can attest to how delicious it is. The Japanese have been eating octopus for millennia, and they have perfected the art of cooking it. Unlike the other kinds of fish, octopus can be enjoyed pretty much any time throughout the year, but if anything, the catch has its peak in summer. You, however, may feel intimidated by the weird look of the octopus and not even know where to start. Unlike what you may think, octopus is actually easy to cook in Japanese style. There are different kinds of octopus, but commonly by heating up the flesh, it enhances the umami or the rich inherent flavor. It takes some work to cook it right, but the results are finger-licking. The octopus I could get for this tutorial is a little smaller, like 300 gram. But the prepping procedure for octopus is exactly the same regardless of the size. So you can learn the basic steps from this video. Usually the bigger the size is, the easier to prep, since the material is more solid and easier to wield a knife. Around 1 kilogram of octopus will ensure the size and the legs thick enough to slice into wide sushi pieces. The octopus body is a bag-like structure. Find the gap and turn it inside out from there. Clean up the entrails and wash it. Make a slit around the eyeballs to remove them. There is a slight difference in the recipe depending on whether the octopus is fresh or frozen. If you find the frozen ones, it'll be a little easier since freezing the octopus tenderizes the meat and makes it easy to get rid of the slimy substance that covers its body and tentacles. Otherwise, here assume that you're working with a fresh octopus, in which case you will need to follow the procedure demonstrated in this tutorial. Octopus is covered by slimy substance all over its body. You will need to get rid of this substance before cooking in order to remove the fishiness. This is done by massaging the octopus with salt for 15 to 20 minutes. Make sure that you apply and rub the salt all over the octopus body. Rub the salt hard at first and gently as you go on. Rinse off all the salt when you're done and run your finger through the octopus to ensure that it is not slimy. The salt also helps tenderize the octopus, but it is not enough. As such, you will need to beat the octopus with a wooden pestle to soften the meat. If you don't have one, beer or wine bottle can be substituted. Hit it moderately hard all over the body for about 5 minutes until it is limp and soft to the touch. The following step is not required but recommended if you have time to make it more tender. Prepare a cup of grated Japanese daikon and massage the octopus for about 10 to 20 minutes. Diastase, the enzyme containing the group of white root radish, breaks down the firm muscle fiber and tenderizes it. Add water to a large pot enough to submerge the octopus and heat to boiling point. Make it 3% of salt water by adding 30% of salt against 1 liter of water. If you have some green tea at hand, adding them helps it tenderize, remove fishiness, and brighten the color. Ensure that the water boils before putting the octopus. Cooking octopus is quite easy, but there is a method to it. You should begin with the tentacles. As such, hold the octopus by its body with the tentacles dangling and dip the tentacles into the boiling water. Move the tentacles up and down in the boiling water until they curl. Ensure that each tentacle is curled to avoid getting the whole thing tangled up. Once the tentacles are curled, you can then proceed to immerse the entire octopus in the boiling water. Ensure that the whole octopus is under the water. Let the octopus boil for about 3 to 5 minutes and then turn off the heat. Flip over the octopus and leave it for about 3 to 5 more minutes. 10 minutes total would be good, but it depends on the size. Also, depending on your preference though, if you like medium well texture, cook it shorter. If you're planning to preserve it for a while before serving, on the other hand, cook it a little longer. Time it precisely, as boiling the octopus for too long will harden it and ruin the texture and flavor. Once it's done, remove the boiled octopus from the water and place it in iced water. Leave it for at least 5 minutes to cool off to the core. Start by detaching the tentacles from the body by cutting them off where they are connected. You will also notice that the parts around the mouth are black and crusted. Make a slit and pull off these crusted bits. This is pretty much everything you need to know to break down the octopus. Here you can begin slicing the tentacles for sushi or sashimi. Also, please refer to another tutorial specifically for slicing octopus into sushi pieces for more in detail. The thickness may vary depending on your preferences, but 1/4 inches is recommended as it is easy to eat. Cooking octopus in Japanese style is that simple and easy. There are many ways to serving octopus, and it all depends on your preference.